It is a windy start to the day. God. It's probably northeasterly, I think, down here in the Isle of Wight Undercliff, on Undercliff Drive. Just going for a quick bird watching walk along here, see if there's any migrant birds around. It's the first week of April. It's a weekend, so it's a Saturday morning. And this kind of shrubby, coastal wooded habitat, I suppose, is where I might pick up a willow warbler or two. Loads and loads of chiffchaffs going through earlier in the week. Well, the last couple of weeks, especially when the weather was a bit overcast and foggy. If I had, well, yeah, I have had willow warblers. I just haven't had them singing yet in the Undercliff this spring. So you never know. It's a bit blowy today, a bit blustery. This is kind of the most sheltered area I could think of, to be honest. So we're in the Isle of Wight Undercliff. So to my right is the inner cliff face, which protects us from northerly winds, and to my left is the sea, which is about, so we're on a lower shelf, so we're right low down here, just above sea level, and then to my right you've got the cliff, and above that inner cliff face it stretches inland and it's open farmland, much higher, and we're on a low terrace. You may be able to see the sea through the trees over there, through the sycamores. Got Budleigh in front of us and sycamores behind. This is where a big landslip occurred and destroyed the road, Undercliff Drive, which has never been reopened and never will be reopened, as far as I can see. It was an A road, so it was a really busy road between Ventnor and Knighton and off onto the military road in the west. Obviously, if you go towards Ventnor on this road, when you could, you'd head towards Bonchurch and Shanklin and Sandown. So a really important road it was, or really busy road. Just see the inner cliff face above these roofs. Chalk cliff and green sand, a mixture of the two. Hey, there goes the old gimbal. Let's see if I can straighten you out. Might have to turn you off. There we go, back in order again. I sometimes do that with this little DJI Osmo Pocket 3 handheld gimbal camera. It's a superb camera. Occasionally, because of my incompetence, I confuse it by suddenly looking at something to my right and very high, and it just doesn't know what on earth I'm trying to get it to do. It's a great tit calling. So yeah, a lovely sheltered shelf. As you can see, there's nobody about. What time is it? About 7:45 in the morning. Get the odd dog walker, the odd jogger, the odd cyclist. Here comes a dog walker now. People walking up and down, but it's so quiet, and these gardens are superb. I mean, people still living down here. Just on this side, you can see abandoned houses, which are being engulfed by trees and shrubs. They were just abandoned quickly, all of a sudden, when the landslip occurred. So now it's very peaceful, wild habitat with the great tits, as we can hear. Doesn't sound anything like a great tit, but it is. Haven't seen it, but yeah, there it goes. So this car was abandoned all of a sudden. Funny sounding great tit, isn't it? There's a blue tit above it, so it's a great tit and a blue tit in the same bit of Budleigh. The one that just flew is the great tit, and above that there's a blue tit on the top. It's not going to move. Oh well, let's carry on walking. There he goes, calling now. I can hear a black cat to my left. Lovely cherry flowering there. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed, and if you want to hear me talking about rewilding and wildlife friendly farming and nature writing and self-publishing nature books, and going on bird watching walks like this one, which is always very entertaining. This old caravan park over here to the left. Not a cloud in the sky. Lovely old tree there. I think that's a turkey oak or something. I don't think it's an English oak. Might be an English oak. You know, sessile or pedunculate. Have to come back in the summer and try and work it out, unless anyone who's watching this can tell by the bark. There's the inner cliff face. This bit of it is green sand with a little summit of chalk. As you go further east along where we just come, the chalk bit on top of the green sand gets a lot thicker, a lot taller. So you've got chalk cliff on top of hard green sand. Wow, that is a chilly breeze. So it's a north easterly, so we're not completely sheltered down here. As you can see, we're a lot more sheltered than we would be if we were on top of that cliff, which is all open farmland. Down here we're a bit sheltered. And also, if you want to support the channel, don't only subscribe, but also watch as many videos on this channel as you can bear to watch, because that gets my watch time up. And if you can subscribe, I might get to 1,000 subscribers, which will be really cool. I'm at 700 and something, 750 odd at the moment. I can get up to 1,000. That means I can share some of the revenue YouTube earns from advertisers. So you'll see adverts on your YouTube videos. And at the moment, if YouTube puts a video on my video, or sorry, an advert on my video, on this one for instance, I don't receive any of the revenue that YouTube gets from the advertiser. Whereas when I'm over 1,000 subscribers, and I've got 4,000 hours of watch time, they will share some of that revenue with me. So it's a way that I can earn a little bit of money through my YouTube channel. So do subscribe so I can get up to 1,000 subscribers, and also watch more videos so I can get the watch hours up. Watch hours is basically the hours people like you are watching my videos for, and I need to get up to 4,000 hours over a year. I think that is that a year? I don't know, doesn't matter. But yeah, there's also a buy me a coffee link. Oh, there's lovely hazel there. I love these woodlands, this Undercliff. You'll probably say, hang on a minute, it's way too much cover here for finding any migrant birds, but it's not really how it works down here. You just hear them singing. Yes, it's woodland, but it's right on the sea and it stretches for miles. It's superb. Further east, behind where we've just come from, it opens right out onto farmland down here in the Undercliff as well. So there's a strip of coastal farmland. So such a lovely variety of habitats. There's just nobody down here, no bird watchers down here for a start. So you have the place to yourself. There's loads and loads of self-catering accommodation and a few bed and breakfasts and hotels in the Undercliff. So there's plenty of options for staying down here. There's a campsite as well at Old Bank End Farm. So St Lawrence, where there's a farm, they have camping there, as well as self-catering accommodation. So you can pitch a tent, or you bring your motorhome down, or whatever, your camper van, and plonk yourself in a really nice bird watching spot. And if you've got a family in tow, it's brilliant for that as well, because there's loads to do in the Undercliff. There's black gang chine, up that way if you like that kind of thing. Pretty hideous if you ask me. And then obviously Ventnor has lots of little cafes and restaurants. Not hearing any willow warblers. Plenty of chiff-chaffs. How's the time going? It is, oh, it's 7:35, so it's earlier than I said. I said 8:30, 7:30 earlier, but it's not. There's the sea. Be great living down in one of these very big houses down there. If you're watching this and you're very rich, there's a few nice houses for sale down in the Undercliff. Don't have to be that rich, to be honest. $500,000 will do. There's a few below 200,000. Don't think there's anything below 100,000 in the Undercliff. There probably is. Flats. Great tit, wren, blackcap, chiff-chaff, not ravens. What's going on down there? Let me scan through binoculars. Is that a? Oh no, just their open drive. I thought I could see a fresh bit of landslip, but no. Yeah, do say in the comment section if you've ever been down here in the Undercliff of the Isle of Wight. We're in St Lawrence, we're kind of halfway between Knighton, which is to the west, and Ventnor to the east. Can't remember where this little path goes into the woods, but looks like plenty of people go this way, so let's have a quick look. Just looks like it goes up to the inner cliff. Yeah, I'm not going to bother to go very far up there. It's just a patch of woodland below the cliff face. Lovely old sycamore here, multi-stemmed. I do love this area. So nice. This would have been open farmland if you look at the old watercolours of the Undercliff. This is all grazed, open farmland basically. Very different landscape back then. Since then the farmland's been largely abandoned. Like I say, there's a farmer, or two farms at Old Bank End Farm and Old Park. So they're still operating, cattle grazing. I think there's still sheep in one of them, I think. But the rest of it was all abandoned and it's become coastal woodland. Big old manor house thingy in there. I don't know if you can see that through the trees. If you're watching on a TV, you probably can. Lots of jackdaws calling. There would have been chough back in the day. This would have been a lot more open when there were chough along this bit of the Undercliff. Still plenty of nice open coastal cliff habitat, but not as much as there would have been. So I'm already walking further than I planned. But we have time. It's an old boundary wall there. So there used to be stone walls, well there still are, but there used to be functional stone walls through here, demarcating the different grazing units, different land ownerships, presumably. Going to turn back in a minute. Notice a distinct lack of chaffinches. There are one or two in the Undercliff now. There used to be billions of them. They used to be so common. And then I assume disease ripped through the population. And now there are very few. But they are beginning to reappear, thankfully. 25th of February 1892. Old marker stone of some sort. So there was a small holding here. There's a rusty old building down, engulfed by vegetation. Well, I'm going to head back into Ventnor and get ready to go and get my cup of coffee. Besties and Spinkies, I think. If I carried on walking, I'd eventually, in about 20 minutes, half an hour maybe, eventually get to Knighton and St Catherine's Point Lighthouse, which is a better known birding area, bird watching area. Nice badger set down there. You're never going to be able to see it, but there is a red squirrel down there. They're very common red squirrels here. Yeah, you can't see it. It was on the branch or on the trunk directly ahead. It's gone up into the tree, I think. Just missed him. breezy, but there's at least 3 willow warblers up in this flowering blackthorn next to the tamarisks here. This is Eastern Esplanade car park in Ventnor. There's another willow warbler just over there, so 4 willow warblers here. 2 blackbirds. There goes 2 willow warblers feeding on the shrubby habitat there. Almost a bowpine warbler time. Very bright at this time of year, bright yellow. Excuse the noise of the wind. There's actually four philosks up there rather than 3, so presumably 4 willow warblers. Most of the chiffchavs have gone through by now. There's red hot pokers flowering there, middle of the frame. Just the kind of spot for a rare wheat here in the spring, or a serin feeding on the weeds on the cliff face here. Did have that great spotted cuckoo a couple of Aprils ago. It's now April. Wheeler's Bay just over there. Can't see any serins, rare wheatears or great spotted cuckoos. But there are willow warblers calling. So an additional 2 willow warblers, additional to the ones I just had down there. It's like a good alpine centre spot as well, doesn't it? There's one in Cornwall yesterday. It is that time of year. What's that stuff? Sea buckthorn, is it? I think the paler stuff is sea buckthorn. Maybe it isn't actually. Tell me in the comments section if you can recognise the pale shrubby stuff. So it's a bit blustery here, so the sound may be awful. What's the time? Is it time for me to go and grab a coffee yet? Nowhere near. Still got 20 minutes. 8:38, so opens at 9. It's where the purple sandpipers get in winter. Might still be the odd one around somewhere, but I've not seen them in Ventnor for a month or so. So I hope you're enjoying this video about Ventnor and the Undercliff. If so, then don't forget there are 2 books that I've written. One, Bird Watching Around Ventnor, creatively named, and the second one is Wildlife Watching Around Ventnor. Just short books about the local area that are the subject of this video. Available on Amazon. I'll put a link below for this video, and you can also order it from the library, and it's available in all major bookshops, both of these little booklets, and in a few shops along the Esplanade, like the Longshoremen's Museum and Lady Scarlet's Tea Room as well. But yeah, I'll put a link to the description if you want a slightly deeper dive into the Isle of Wight Undercliff. Then these 2 little booklets might be of interest to you. Just go onto Amazon otherwise and just search for Steve Jones and Ventnor and you should find them.